person, rise and shine because you are a star. Tshephie here, and if you're new to this channel or you're a returning subscriber, welcome. Oh my god. Yeah, so just before we get right into it, can you just like dance it out a little bit because it's the vibe and stuff. Yeah. So just to put it out there, I just enjoy having this dance with y'all because wow, what a privilege it is to be young and free and be able to just dance and enjoy the sunrise vibe because joy comes in the morning. Troubles don't really last forever. So yeah, two more dances together and stuff. On that note, I'd like us to just talk about procrastination, cause this past few days I've literally been tracking my progress in the last few days, couple of days of this year. It's literally halfway through the first month of 12 months of this year, which means that time is moving. And there's a lot that needs to happen. There's a lot of progress. There's a lot of anticipation for goodness and greatness and growth and amazing stuff in the presence of God and enjoying the promises of His Word. Yeah. So I want us to just touch on procrastination as well as being aware of where you are in this life journey. Like, for me, these past few days, I literally saw how procrastination can set you off track from the little things. It's what again. You're like, imagine that you can procrastinate on one thing and then you can literally delay your destiny or your goal with like a year or two or even 6 years. Like, how deep is that? And just like a few days ago, hey, let me just tell you a story. It's not even, yeah, that. So I woke up in the morning. I had to go somewhere and I decided, you know what? Let me just rest a little bit. A little sleep, a little slump. Yo, I slept. I woke up like 2 hours late and my schedule was literally pushed further. And then I had an appointment. But before the appointment, I had to go to buy something and I was late. Like I couldn't even catch that time. I didn't even manage to buy that and I spent on going there, and then I was late for the next appointment and I was also late for the meeting after that appointment. So I'm like, in a day, hella, that's just like a day thing. Imagine if you postpone for like a month, that it can literally set you up for a year and then for 2 years or that or this and that, and just not being able to sit down and make decisions because sometimes we find ourselves in situations and we're like, okay, to be honest, I'm here because of the decisions I did not make or the decisions I made by not making the right choices. And I remember very well from last year, I used to be super dramatic. Like, I remember the other time I had a deadline. I wanted to apply for some program and I was super late. I remember at 2 a.m. I woke up and I was like, hey, wait, see what's going on. I'm not ready to submit. Like, my things are far off behind. And I wrote a letter to myself. I was like, you know what? I'm here because of the decisions I made. Like I just said, the decisions I made and the decisions I did not make. I literally wrote every aspect of my life. Okay, where am I with being a pop star for Jesus? Where am I with my exercising? Where am I with my reading? Where am I with this and this and this and this and that? And I just wanted to touch on it this time around to just check, where are you now? Are you aware of the moving times? Are you present in this moment? Are you present in this year? We're 2 weeks ahead. Hey, ongoing and stuff, yeah? We're moving at the times. And like one thing that I was reminded of hella also in the past few days is that, always be prepared and always look out for opportunities. On the book that I'm reading, the one I talked about the last time, there's a part where we were talking about how Mary and Joseph were not aware when Jesus was doing the work of the Father. That time when he was 12 years old, and they were walking and they didn't even realize that he was not with them, and then he was busy, Grana, and they were debating and learning because he was preparing himself for ministry. And when they saw him, I was like, why were you looking for me? Because you know that I'm busy with my Father's work. They didn't even get it. They were not even aware of the shift of what's happening. It's like how it's a new year and it's like, okay, just another day, another month, another week, and it's like, oh, you go to church and you're like, okay, it's another service. How are you intentional about living this life, and how are you intentional about applying what you learn? Actually, let me read from James 1:22. Hey, on my door. Hey, do not merely listen to the word of God and not do what it says. Hey, do not merely listen to the word of God and so deceives yourselves. Do what it says. It's like you're a person who looks at themselves in the mirror, and then when you leave, you forget who you are. Like we find in the Bible that we're God's masterpiece. We're the head and not the tail. He's our good shepherd. He shall lead us and guide us. We should not be afraid. Then okay, can we really do that? And sometimes we actually like procrastinate because of fear or because of doubt or because of overthinking. But I don't know how to put this. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. Cause wow. Oh my god. I remember one time I was listening to one podcast and it was talking about discipline and how discipline is having awareness of need to act, So yeah. What I just wanted to talk about is that are we really acting on our goals? Are we present? Are we aware of where we are? Imagine Hannah, for example, even like the things like hotel, like you're growing up and nothing is changing. It's like, okay, it's another day, and some of us don't like forget about this. It's like, oh, okay. Like, wow. So yeah, like, are we aware of ourselves? Are we aware of where we are? And are we progressing? Are we growing? Or are we procrastinating? Because procrastination can literally pile things up. I remember my lecturer used to say this. He was like, you know what? If you delay to work on one course and then you decide to bunk another course so that you work on that course, you're piling the work from that course, and then now you have times 2. And it's like, and that time I was like, yeah, you're right, but and then I did that. I didn't go for the lesson, and what was learned in that class was literally in one of our CAs. Hey, I think I lost almost like 15 marks because of like decimal what that was taught in class, and I was like, but I'm supposed to know this. And I was not there in class because I was still reading for another course, and then I lost it. And it also applies to life in general, that sometimes you can think that, okay, you procrastinate this and you're like, okay, let me not do that and do this, and you didn't do this when you had to do this, now you're losing on that and stuff like that. And I was actually thinking the other time that imagine if we were to take ourselves as seriously as we take other people's things, or we take our work life seriously, we take our school life seriously, or we take things that we do with our leaders, maybe from church or from any other aspect of your life seriously. If you were to give yourself the same deadlines, the same period of time in terms of like milestones, and making sure that you honor your commitments and you're as consistent as you are when you're doing other people's stuff, would probably be super far. Like, I don't want to talk a lot because it's the morning and I have to go to work. And I literally procrastinated shooting. So I was like, you know what? No. We're not going to do this. We are literally going to shoot and we're going to post when we need to post. Yeah. As much as I'm talking about this, it doesn't mean that I'm not immune. It doesn't mean that I'm immune to this. I'm also learning, and I hope to also learn from you guys and stuff. I hope that you comment and tell me what are your experiences with procrastination, and what have you learned from just being aware and being present in like everyday life and in every environment that you go into. So yeah, I feel like making break. I'm like, am I too fast? Anyway, yeah, it was really nice. Just put it out there. I dreamt about this yesterday. I was like, you know what? I don't even sleep. I slept late. And you know that I like sleep, right? I believe in 8 hours of sleep. But yesterday, I was like, I'm literally gonna do each and everything that I have to do. In this time, I'll have to sacrifice my sleep. Why? Because the girl did not do things on time. But yeah, I mean, I was not here for a very long time, but I was just here to share a few stuff that are in my heart, and I hope you enjoyed and found something valuable and stuff. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and also hit on the notifications button so that we spend more quality time together in the following weeks and hopefully years, and we become a family.